Okay, I'm out here on my property, and we have a tree here that is no longer living. It died early fall, late summer, but it has some really great vines on it that I want to use in a dream catcher. So before this tree falls down and starts to decompose, I'm just going to take a couple of vines here. See, these aren't even attached anymore. They're just falling off. And this will be perfect. This is a perfect time of year to do this too because it's very wet outside. So these will bend very nicely, just like this. So I will take this inside and show you what I will do next. Now that I've got this inside, I'm going to just wrap it in a circle twice around and tie it with some sinew, and then I will start the dream catcher part. I thought this would be a good activity to do while I answer some of the questions that I got from you guys on my Instagram. I had put on my Insta story asking if anyone had questions that they could send them, and I will do my best to answer them. So I took some of those questions, especially the most popular ones, and I will answer as many of them as I can while I make this dream catcher. Okay, so question number 1 is, are you Native American and what tribe are you from? I get this question multiple times a day, and yes, I am Native American. And I am an enrolled member of the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe, which is down in South Dakota. So the next question is, where did you go to school? Now I'm guessing that this person was asking, where did I go to college? Since it's been quite some time since I've been in high school. So I went to college at the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks. Then I went back to school a few years later to a specialized program at the University of Mary, which is also in North Dakota, but in Bismarck. Okay, so now that I've got all of that tied off, I'm just going to see kind of what I want to do here as far as a design. I'm not going to go too heavy on the beads on this one since it is a lot more fragile since this is wood. So I'm just going to kind of pick some of my favorites and kind of go from there. So another question I have here is, have you done a DNA test to prove your Native heritage? Well, that's an interesting question. I have done a DNA test, but it wasn't to prove my Native heritage. It was just basically out of curiosity to see what would actually show up. And I was surprised that it was actually pretty accurate to what I thought my heritage was. So I've gotten it as a gift, and I thought I would just give it a try, and I was kind of glad I did. You know, you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt, and I don't really know how accurate those are. I have heard that there are some discrepancies, you know, from place to place or company to company, but mine seem to come out to be, you know, pretty accurate. So moving on to another question. The question is, do you ever get hate comments and how do you handle them? Honestly, I really have not encountered too many hate comments. Sometimes I'll get a comment that's kind of snarky or kind of questioning something that I have done. And depending on what it is that the comment is referring to, I will do my best to just straight up answer the questions just to clarify whatever issue there might be. But if the comment is just straight up nasty, you know, I have gotten a couple of those, but they're very few and far between. I'll just delete it and block the person, because I just feel like, you know, I would never leave a nasty comment on somebody else's page, especially on an item that they handmade. You know, it's just not very nice, and I just don't want that stuff on my page, so I delete it. Okay, I've gone around a couple of times just to give a little nice spacing for the beads. And now I will continue with a couple of questions. So the next question is, do you dance at powwows? So I have done both fancy shawl and traditional. And as of recent years, I have been a vendor at powwows. So instead of being in the arena dancing, I have been in the tent with my products and, you know, talking to visitors and, you know, giving some backstory on some of the items that I have made. So I will go out for an intertribal, just to get out there for a little bit, but I do not do any competition dancing right now. I have kind of toyed with the idea of getting back out there, so maybe in the coming powwows I will be dancing. Where are you located and how is the weather? I am located in Wisconsin. We just had some snow today. Looks like it'll probably melt. We had about an inch of snow a couple days ago, but that had melted, it rained, and we're starting to get into some colder temps. So I'm expecting probably a big snowfall here within the coming weeks. So moving on to another question. This question is actually pretty interesting, which is, do Native Americans celebrate Thanksgiving? Now, Thanksgiving coming up, I guess I can see how that's an appropriate question. And for this question, I can only give my own personal opinion. I cannot speak for other Native Americans. I can only speak for myself. So, you know, just keep that in mind, that I'm not answering for everybody. I'm only answering for myself and for my immediate family. So, do we celebrate Thanksgiving? And the answer is yes. We celebrate Thanksgiving as time for family, not necessarily for the history of the Thanksgiving holiday. The history of the holiday is just very brutal, very dark, and it's just a really bad history. So we don't celebrate the history of it, but we do celebrate family getting together and making it, you know, our own special time to be together. What are your favorite TV shows? Well, I don't really have a whole lot of time to watch TV, but I do have, you know, some favorites that I do watch over and over. One is probably definitely The Sopranos. I don't know, I just love that series. I have watched every season over and over. That's always a good one. I always go back to watching. Friends, that's super old, but I've seen every single episode probably 100 times, and I know every single line in every single episode. So when that's on late at night, sometimes I'll put that on just, you know, because it's like a comfort show. I've seen so many of them. Okay, as I finish up this dreamcatcher here, I will answer one more question, and that is, are you taking custom orders? So the answer to that is I do take custom orders. However, right now I have closed my custom orders for the holiday season because I have so many. And as I am standing right now, I will probably really be pushing it to finish everything before the holidays. So once the holidays are over, things settle down, then I will start taking them again. Okay, and here is my finished dreamcatcher. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions in the future, just be sure to let me know, and maybe I will do another Q&A in the future, I don't know. But anyway, thanks for joining me tonight, and I hope everybody has a great day, and see you next time.